exclusive with this, we'll leave no witnesses. See, nobody can touch one job less, and I mean this. So I'll be like Osiris, had to get the mices. If you talking females, it's to say that I'm the nicest. Watch the Simpson up my crew, he be the lyrical prophet. If you put the fat beat on the freestyle, he will drop it, yo. I come with many gifts, who's to be my nemesis? If you want to battle this, I bring it with niceness.
Hey, what's shaking, y'all? I am Isaac. Thank you so much for being here. Today I'm going to be reviewing one of the greatest albums in hip-hop and R&B history. This is the Fugees, The Score. The Fugees were made up of Wyclef, aka the Preacher's son. You had the boy they called Pras. And last but not least, you had Lauryn Hill, aka El Boogie. This masterpiece of an album was released on February 13th, 1996. Your boy was only 1 year old, which is crazy to think about. When this album dropped, it was a massive hit, and it was a #1 album and was the 3rd best-selling album of the year 1996. The Score was the Fugees' second chance at life because their debut album, Blunted on Reality, didn't do the best. I've actually never listened to that album to say if it's whack or not. I heard the Nappy Heads track. I like that song a lot, but it's kind of hard for anything on that album to beat Killing Me Softly, How Many Mics, Manifest Outro, Ready or Not, tracks like that. For the Score album, the Fugees were given complete artistic control to do whatever they wanted. There was no outside force controlling anything, it was all them. The whole album was recorded in Clef and his cousin Jerry Wonder's basement, which was called the Booger Basement. Clef says it was a very good, very relaxed environment, everything was calm and there was no pressure at all. They all just created to the best of their abilities and the rest was history. As of today, the Score is 7 times platinum and something that I don't think could ever be duplicated again. The production of the album was primarily done by Jerry Wonder as well as the Fugees. You also had Salaam Remi, John Forte, and Diamond D on there as well. The Score utilized live instruments and was very sample heavy, which I feel they did a great job with. Some people have problems with producers sampling other records because they feel like it's not authentic. You're stealing from someone's work. You're plagiarizing. I'm not mad if your version is better or it's on the level of the original. If your version is so good that we forget about the original, then you did something good, but actually maybe I'm lying because if anyone sampled 50 Cent in the club, for example, I would low-key be mad because 50 is my all-time favorite rapper. Like, I don't know, man, to each his own on the whole sampling thing. The Score is like one big revenge plot against the industry. MCs who they feel can't compete, trusting the right people, being ahead of everybody, and always knowing your next move as well as your opponent's next move. My favorite song on the album has got to be Family Business featuring John Forte and Omega. Clef was the one playing the guitar on there, and that beat always sounded like some Mask of Zorro type shit to me. The song sampled Francisco Tarrega's Memories of the Alhambra. I hope I'm saying that word right. The Family Business track was all about being aware of the fact that evildoers, evil people, the devil, Shaitan, is always at work. Keep your loved ones close and ride for each other because you're stronger together than apart. The 4 main singles on this album, Fuji La, Ready or Not, Killing Me Softly, No Woman No Cry, were extremely successful and really drove the album. The biggest of all the singles though was without question Killing Me Softly. Killing Me Softly sampled Roberta Flack's original version of the song. No disrespect to Roberta, her version was bull and all that, but in my humble opinion, I think that El Boogie's version was way better. That Fuji twist, that Fuji La was something different. No Woman No Cry is another track that I was really feeling. Clef did the main vocals on there and he did his thing, I can't even front. There was also backup vocals from Stephen and Sharon Marley, some of the children of Bob Marley, but the story behind the song is even better. The song pays homage to the great Bob Marley, of course, and also gives all the songwriter credit to Vincent Ford, a close friend of Marley's who ran a soup kitchen in Kingston, Jamaica, where they both grew up. The royalties from the songwriter credit were to help ensure that the doors of his soup kitchen always stay open. I know Bob is looking down and smiling at the Fugees for that one. I can't close this review out without talking about that Cowboys track, the infamous Cowboys track featuring the Outsiders. You had Clef going up against Pace One, El Boogie going up against Rod Digger, and Pras going up against Young Z. The competition was serious between these two groups. It was all respect, but you can tell each MC metaphorically wanted to cut the other's head off. Clef had a line in the song when he said rappers want to be actors, so they played a Jesse James call-up card. A lot of people, including Pac, took that line as a diss. And Pac, we all know Pac responded back with "When we ride on our enemies," and that shit was cold too. I actually didn't realize this until I was doing my research for this album review, but Tupac's legendary All Eyes on Me released on the same day as The Score, February 13th, 1996. That low-key adds fuel to the fire, but nonetheless, yo, I love the competition. I gotta show love to Lauryn Hill and Rod Digger on the Cowboys track because that back and forth was something special. Rod Digger was really spitting out there and really pushed El Boogie. For all my head beaters, the lead eaters, the cheaters soon to be retreaters, or mamacitas carry real heaters, like, we all know that Lauryn Hill is a phenomenal singer, that's facts. Nobody's disputing that, but her rapping ability is probably just as good or better than her singing ability. She was hands down the best rapper on that track, and I also think that she's the best female rapper of all time. I don't think that any other female out there can see her. I'm gonna take it even a step further and say that she's better than a lot of the men as well. Hip-hop is for sure a male-dominated sport, but we gotta show love to the women in hip-hop who get busy too. Every song on this classic deserves to be spoken about, man. Like, that's just how good this album was. It's been 27 years since this classic album dropped. I always revisit it still to this day because it's one of those albums that I was listening to when I was going through certain things. Music is really that powerful to me. It's sad that the Fugees only had 2 albums, with The Score being their final one, but this album, all those tracks will live on forever. If there is anyone out there who has never heard this album before, I forgive you. Just go listen to it and we all good. This channel is where that real hip hop lives. I want to thank you guys so much for watching the video. Get in the comment section and let me know how you feel about the album. What's your favorite song, least favorite song, all that. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram at I'm Hurrikane Isaac 95. I'm gone. Peace.